Hi guys, welcome back to Angelic Tarot and Therapy. I am Kat, and look who showed up today.
Hi.
Guys, this is Tori. She is going to be helping me today for our pick a card video. And I invited her because she just got a brand new deck, and I know how much we all love new cards. So I'm going to let her show them off a little bit today.
This is the Wild Unknown Archetypes. It just released Tuesday. I've had this pre-order in since like June.
Sorry.
So the face of the cards, or the back, I should say. Oh my God. Like, seriously.
It looks like a diamond. It really does. Like, I hope you guys can see this. It literally looks like a diamond. It's so neat looking. So we have these here today, and we're going to add them to our usual pick a card forte here. So, hi, Mary.
Hi,
Hello.
Mary.
And we have a moon that is now in Gemini, and it is now. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mary. I've been trying to pay attention. It is trine Mars. Is that right? It's trine Mars, and it's in Gemini right now. So that is, adventure and, business deals and purchases, shopping that needs to get done, money matters, that kind of thing. At least that's what everybody was saying. I hope they're right. But yeah, new decks. So excited. Okay, yeah, I don't have a new deck at this time. That comes later. I'll be ordering more here shortly because we have to have new cards. That's just the thing in this house. So, all right. So we're going to do 4 piles today. Those are the ones that wanted to come out, and I told her just throw them out there. We'll just put piles on top of piles. So here we go. We're going to lay out 4 piles of cards. Oh, you want more than that? Okay. For goodness sakes. Apparently they have a mind of their own today. Oh, yes. Okay, so we're going to lay out. Now, these look like diamonds on the... Oh, well, a wild card fell out. Okay, so we're going to put that over here. And then these, her cards look like diamonds. So I pulled out my crystal angel cards. I figured that would be fitting.
Who's yelling?
Okay, and
I can't figure out who's yelling.
I don't know. Y'all know how cards knock at people, like, hey, pick me, etc., etc. Okay. Lots of spirited communication, Mary says, which is awesome.
These are quiet ones, and they're being loud.
Okay. So obviously we have some animal spirits that want to talk. I think you're right, Mary. A lot of spirited communication. I think Mary just hit it right on the nail head. And at some point, Mary, we are going to have you over because you are just absolutely such a phenomenal asset to this show. And you're not even here most of the time. You're just watching. But I really, really appreciate you. Okay, so just one or okay, yep, that's good. All right. I like it. Okay. So pile number 1 is going to be right here. We're going to move that right to there for you, the edge of the notebook. And then pile number 2, we're going to scooch up here for you. Pile number 3 is going to be kitty corner from that. And then pile number 4 is right there. All right. So Jenny Smith. Hi, Bree Bennington. Hello. I'm so glad to see everybody. Really, I am so excited. Tori got new cards if you're just joining us, and they're really, really spectacular, and she's going to break them in with us today. So really excited about that. And these are the wild unknown archetypes. So it's not really like an oracle so much, and it's not a basic tarot. This is something a little different. So I figured that that would be really, really helpful, especially considering that we now have the moon in Gemini, and it's all about communication, and it's all about business deals and clarity and, you know, aha moments and adventure and just, you know, all kinds of fun stuff. So we're going to get in here and we're going to find out what the divine have in store, if my cards would stop jumping at me. Okay, so we are going to go with, we're going to move this little guy over here. That way we know where he's at. And I'm going to start with pile number 1. And the very first card is one of Tori's new Wild Unknown archetype. And if you chose pile number 1, we've got the Flame. We have the 3 of Fire. That's fitting. We have the 6 of Fire. I'm seeing a theme here. Seeing a theme. Okay. We've got Tiger's Eye and the Dragonfly. Okay. So I'm going to let Tori find the Flame, which looks like we've got L1. Yep, that one right there.
Thankfully, there's a table of contents.
Yes.
So each of these are broke up in sections, kind of like regular tarot, except with the Flame, it's in the section for the tools.
Okay.
So the Flame, the Fire, the Spark, the Glimmer. In Sanskrit, the word for fire is Agni. The ancient yogis saw this flame at the center of the abdomen and believed it to be the responsibility for our vitality. When it is lit, we are connected to our purpose and self, that life is a sacred gift. It is said that those who cannot see the sacred around them have let their inner flame go out. Think of this card as a call to reignite that flame, to cup your hands gently around those things you've forgotten and protect the flame, no matter how harshly the winds are around you blow. It could be an inner archetype that begs you to light its wick. It is likely that the poet, the mystic, or the shaman would call to you with the language of the fire. So when light, health, mental clarity, good digestion. When dark, excess heat and anger, complete darkness. Go deeper. The Light You Give Off by Rumi. And Gerard Richards' candle paintings.
That is awesome.
And
that is
2
awesome.
Other little notes.
That's so neat.
And another note in here, the archetypal fire is at the beginning of all transformation, purification, and manifestation. Nearly every spiritual lineage honors the flame. And the last one. To live in the connection with this archetypal energy, practice candle gazing techniques called, and you can say that I know.
Oh, that is Tritaka.
Notice how lighting a single candle in any space brings magic to the room and creates a sense of reverence.
That is awesome. David Pentoa, hi. Hello. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate that. So, guys, I absolutely love this deck. You got these on Amazon. Okay.
But you can order directly from the Wild Unknown website. Kim Krantz, I have all of her decks. There's 3 of them in the last 3 years. And I've also got her workbook, which is awesome too.
Right. So Kim Krantz is kind of like your version of Doreen Virtue or Colette Baron Reedus for me. So guys, I mean, honestly, these are absolutely fantastic. And I want to show you how fantastic these are. I cannot make this up. All right. We've got the flame. We have the 3 of fire, the 6 of fire, the tiger's eye, and the dragonfly. I'm going to let you look up the dragonfly while we talk about this for just a second. So this is about reigniting that flame, that passion, that drive, finding that inner light back in here. It's reigniting your sense of self-confidence, your ownership of who you are. Who you are. All right. So now we've got the 3 of fire, and the 3 of fire is things look good. Things look good. You're just coming out the gate. It's now, mind you, it's only got the oomph of a 3 behind it. Okay. But we've got the things look good. You can make some long-term plans. Now, what do we need to make long-term plans? Self-confidence, passion, drive, right? Okay. So it also signifies abundance. Now, we've talked about this. Abundance is not just money. Abundance is a sense of self-worth. It is, having enough time, enough energy, enough self-confidence, enough funding, enough. It's not just money, guys. Okay. And then we've got the 6 of fire. And the 6 of fire is victory. Good news is on its way. Now, they do mention public recognition, but it's more of a sense of victory and glory on your own self-confidence. This is a rekindling. And what a time to do that. We've got the moon trine Mars right there in Gemini. Lots of spiritual communication happening. The divine are speaking. If you chose pile number 1, more than likely they're saying, hey, time to wake up. Let's do this thing. Okay. Now, a crystal or a stone that can help you. Now, she talked about candle gazing. That is awesome. That's a very good way to meditate and get your center back. Now we've got the tiger's eye. Okay. We got the tiger's eye, which is self-confidence through God confidence. I can't make this up. It's right there. Self-confidence through God confidence. Now, believe in yourself by believing in God working through you. Okay. It's one of those, I know in whom I have believe it, right? Now, we've got the dragonfly. Let's see what the dragonfly has to say.
Dragonfly, master of light, illusion, and the mind. The dragonfly is an ancient and ethereal creature that awakens a sense of wonder and awe. The dragonfly is a symbol of the mind, as it is always moving, shifting, shimmering, and changing. When the dragonfly card appears, it's worth considering the quality of your mind and perception. Are they restless or still? Dreamlike or crystal clear? The situation at hand may be different than it appeared at first glance. The dragonfly reminds us to calm the mind so light of wisdom can shine through. When in balance, sees clearly, joyful, magical. When out of balance, can't concentrate, busy mind. To bring into balance, focus on the breath. Twice for meditation.
Yes.
There you go.
We literally have bookends for meditation, and then we've got that inner spark, returning of your self-confidence. So if you chose pile number 1, you're embarking on a new journey, and this journey you're going within. Okay. It's all about going within and communicating with your higher self and your higher power. Okay. So good luck to you on this new journey, pile number 1. All right. I'm going to let you take, you know what? We always do a recap. So I'm just going to keep these together for right now. Just going to let them hang out. Okay. Now we've got pile number 2. And we have the tear. We have the Knight of Water. We have the World. We have Charoite. And we have the Phoenix. I am super excited to see what this has to say today. This is absolutely fantastic. So if you're just joining us, please know that I always post this after the fact so you can rewatch it. But if you chose pile number 2, the very first card right out the gate is the tear. And we're going to hear what the tear has to say.
Which, again, just like the flame, is in the tools category. So the tear, the mourning, the release, the rain. Tears are droplets of letting go. Once they begin to fall, we allow the swelling tide of emotion to run its elemental course. Often the tear is what is needed in order for a conversation or situation to break into the next level of intimacy and vulnerability. Some say that tears are so powerful in softening our egos that they open up a portal to the unseen world. Through our watery eyes, the ancestors catch a glimpse of us, and we are reminded of their ethereal, eternal embrace. We sense our humanity, our humility, and we allow ourselves to be held. It is likely this card appears when there is grieving yet to do, a sinking down into disappointment or despair that, once acknowledged, will bring a shimmer of clarity to our dewy eyes. When light, melody, melancholy flowing through. When dark, drowning, drama, murkiness. Go deeper, rain, by Vachel Lindsay. The tear is powerful, and it is possible to be subsumed in its waters. Find a supportive place to open the floodgates. If both the tear and the river appear in a reading, this indicates an excess of the water element in your life, as in the
Ayurvedic
tradition.
I knew they were going to say that.
Balance with fire and earth.
Okay. So the tear is all about allowing those things that need to be released to be released. This is not about your ego. This is about cleansing your soul. This is about allowing the divine to literally let you purge those things that are no longer serving you. It's also about humility. Sometimes when we get overwhelmed, we cry. It's our release. It just allows us to feel better. You know, after a good cry, you feel better. I have days where I literally will put on the saddest movie I can possibly find just so I can, allow myself that release. Okay. So we have the tear, and then we have the Knight of Cups, or the Knight of Water. And this is emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, but this is the need to balance your emotions. Now, that one. Yes, thank you, Mary. See, we're making you a special guest on the show. I don't care what I have to do. You're going to come and see us. But purging things from our lives is going to be such a theme over the next 3 months for everybody, and that is absolutely correct. So, I mean, they've been talking about this for anybody that follows Twin Flames or any kind of major energy work. They have been talking about the purge and not the movie, but they have been talking about the purge as part of the ascension process that's about to happen in a very, very big way. And it's a minimum of 3 months, a minimum. So guys, it's going to be a very big running theme these next few months. And just understand this is part of, it's kind of like if you have to move into like a smaller place. You want to get rid of anything that's not working out, right? Because you don't want a whole bunch of clutter. You don't want to be tripping over everything like I am with the puppies right now. They're worth it. They really are. I love it. But yes, it's definitely worth it to purge those things. Then we have the World. Now, after we've allowed ourselves the release, and after we've balanced our emotions and allowed that purge to happen and brought our emotions back into balance, now they're saying a job well done. We have the World. This is a job well done. Joy, contentment, and gratitude, the path toward enlightenment. I can't make this up. I can't. And I would like to point out that as soon as Mary said that it's going to last for how long? 3 months.
2 and 1.
And we've got 21, which is a 3 on point. As always, Mary, thank you so much for that. And then we have spiritual protection. I'm at a loss for words here. I know it's hard to imagine, but I am. But we've got spiritual protection. You're being watched over and protected physically, emotionally, energetically, which means you are protected, directed. If they say that a purge is necessary, then allow it to happen, do the work, and then allow yourself to rebalance your emotions, give yourself credit for a job well done. You're on the path to enlightenment. Now, that's the first step, mind you. You're on the path. It doesn't say, welcome to the finish line. Okay, it says the path. All right. And then we've got spiritual protection, which means you're protected during this phase. And now we're going to hear about the reemerging with the Phoenix.
Freedom from suffering and past karma, reincarnation. The Phoenix represents the transformation of our past. It doesn't mean running from it, denying it, or burning bridges with rage. The Phoenix employs an advanced technique described in yoga as the burning of impurities through practice and dedication. The essence of the Phoenix is with us when we realize we've been suffering too long and something must change. We take a stand and decide to live consciously instead of being driven by the unconscious mind and its long list of fears and aversions. At that very moment, the spark of the Phoenix is lit, and the great bird helps us burn through our baggage. We no longer run from who we are, what has happened to us, or what we have done. The stuckness and dead weight fall into the ashes, and a lightness and clarity emerge. As the stagnancy continues to smolder, the Phoenix lifts our spirits up, and we begin to recognize ourselves again. We may catch a glimmer in our eye that wasn't there before. Look closely. It's a sign that the fire of transformation is upon your wings.
That is, I have people bumps right now. I'm not a goose. I don't get goosebumps, but I do have people bumps right now. Okay. And that's because this very first one, it talked about our ancestors and the spirit world seeing the glimmer in our eye to help us purge these things, right? And then at the very end, we see it on our own. We see it in ourselves.
The way the animal spirit deck is broke down like any other deck. It's by the elements. So, of course, fire, earth, water, air. The ethereal creatures that are in this deck are part of the spirit element.
Yep.
So
that literally coincided all the way through.
Yeah.
That is so exciting. That is so exciting. I love this. I absolutely love this. Kyla, say hi to Kyla. She's saying hi. Kyla. We love you, Kyla.
You're welcome. I invited her.
Oh, good. Okay, so there is your reading. If you were pile number 2, if you're just joining us, we will be putting up a replay, so you won't miss anything, I promise. But what a fantastic, fantastic reading. That is so great.
That's me.
Oh, hi. Well, I see it go bloop, and I'm like, oh, hey.
No, Kyla, later. You have to show up for that.
Oh, for goodness sakes. Okay, so, kids, please. All right, so now we're going to go to pile number 3. If you chose pile number 3, we've got the riddle. We have the Page of Earth. We have the Queen of Earth. We have Amber. And we have the Whale. Wow, that's pretty stellar.
Yeah.
Just on its own. Because I'm looking at these and I know what these mean and I know what this is. So just by seeing this, I am very, very curious to see how the bookends tie it all together. So what do we have to say about the riddle?
Again, it's one of the tools. So the riddle, the puzzle, the question, the mystery. When the riddle is present, one must stop searching for the right answer. It cannot be found, and ultimately, it is not important. Rather, there must be a shift from the literal to the metaphorical, from logic to mythic. You are thinking too small and literally about the situation. The riddle card appears when the energy is deep and mysterious, like the elusive wisdom in a Zen koan. Focusing harder won't do it. Neither will increasing effort. Time, surrender, and humor are your only allies. What feels like the most pressing dilemma won't reveal its deeper wisdom for a long time. Eventually, you'll learn a profound lesson from the riddle. For now, get comfortable with the limitations of your intellect and the reality of not knowing. It may, in fact, be the only reality there is. When light, a great awakening or aha moment. That sounds a little familiar.
Mm-hmm.
When dark, manipulation, deceit, trickery. Go deeper. Practice the Buddhist I don't know mind.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
And ponder these koans. The coin that's lost in the river is found in the river. If you meet the Buddha, kill the Buddha.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I? The only way to work with a riddle successfully is to not work.
Exactly. So the riddle, understanding that sometimes we don't have all the answers, right? Understanding that sometimes it's not for us to know. But then we've got the page of earth. And the page of earth is the page of pentacles. And this is dependability, patience, and success. So this is good news about financial matters, which tells me that somebody has been, if you chose pile number 3, you have been freaking right the hell out over money lately. And with the whole Venus-Uranus debacle, okay, that makes perfect sense. Yep. See, even Mary's like, nope, doesn't surprise me one iota. Okay. So we've got the riddle where you don't know the answers. You've tried everything, working harder, working overtime, doing extra things, blah, blah, blah. This money thing is just not coming together. It's just not. Okay. Now they're saying, hey, good news about financial matters. It's about to be unleashed. Okay. We have moved. This is the best time for business deals. I'm just throwing it out there. Okay. So this is wanting to do something more challenging. Okay. Wanting to do something more challenging. Good news about financial matters. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles or the Queen of Earth. Now, I've explained this several times this way. The Queen of Pentacles or the Queen of Earth, she will teach a man a fish, but she ain't giving him nothing. She will teach a man to fish, but she won't give him anything. Okay, let that sink in. She also knows that it's not about money, it's about quality time. It's about making your priorities a priority. Okay, let's get those in check. Let's figure out exactly what needs to be put on the pedestal and what needs to be knocked down a few pegs or 10. Okay, so making time for those around you, taking a sensible approach to things, dealing with challenges in a kind and understanding way. Okay. She's not the Queen of Swords. She's not like, well, it's your mess. I'm sorry. You know, this true. I mean, that's how the Queen of Swords is. You know, the Queen of Cups is, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You know, but the Queen of Pentacles is like, okay, so there's a mess. There's paper towels right here. I'm going to grab a broom and we're going to work together, and I'm not doing it for you. You're going to do this. Okay. I'm going to show you what to do. All right. So with that in mind, we've got good news about financial matters, wanting to do something a little bit more challenging. Then we're going to make time for those that are important to us. We're going to make sure that our priorities are in check, that we have everything, we have our ducks in a row, as it were. Now, for those of you that know me, you know I do not have ducks. I have squirrels, and they do not listen. Okay. But this lady, right, this lady, she's got her stuff together. Okay. Everything is in its place, priorities, right? And taking a sensible approach, dealing with matters, conditions, any kind of upheaval in a kind and understanding manner. Okay. And then when all else fails, we're going to give it to God. We're going to give it to God with amber. And this is take a deep breath, and on the exhale, release the situation to God for healing and answers. Now, you just mentioned Zen.
Mm-hmm.
And what do they practice? Like, what's the biggest thing in the world to them? Breathing, right? So we're going to take a big breath in. Those that pick pile number 3, we're going to take a deep breath in. On the exhale, release the situation to God, your higher power, the universe, whatever you want to say. They know who you're talking to, okay? And turn it over for healing or answers, okay? You wanted the answer to your riddle? Here it is. The answer is it's not your riddle anyway. How about that? Okay. Now, let's see. Well, hi, Jasmine. Hello. Thank you so much for joining us. So the whale is our other bookend here. And the way that these readings have been going, I am excited to see what the whale is. So you go right ahead.
The whale is also the master of the water off this deck. It is the last of the water, which is desire to delve deeper, profound peace, ancient wisdom. The whale represents profound emotional health and stability. The whale personalities are not afraid of emotional expression or traversing difficult terrain. As they have overcome many challenges in their lives, these experiences have enriched them, given them stability, strength, and a depth that is rare. Whale energy is usually linked to the feminine forces of compassion and communication. We can depend on whale personalities when all else seems lost and trust them to be a beacon in our darkest hour. When in balance, calm, steady, deeply compassionate. When out of balance, heavy, slips into old story. To bring into balance, regular self-care.
Priorities. Okay. And the riddle, I mean, right now they're talking about money and getting your priorities in order. I've said it here several times. It's not your money anyway. It's really not. It belongs to the universe, God, your higher power, your higher self, whatever you want to say. It belongs to them, which means it's not your money, which means it's not your bills, which means it's not your rent, which means it's not your grocery. You know what I mean? Like, this is not yours. You are a steward of what you've been given, but that takes a whole heck of a lot of pressure off, doesn't it? Okay. It doesn't give you a license to just be lazy and not do anything, but it does allow you some breathing room to understand that it's not your money anyway. Okay. All right. So pile number 3, that was your reading. And if you are just joining us, please know I do post this after the fact, and we usually do a recap. So, all right. Pile number 4. If you chose pile number 4, this looks very, very interesting. This looks super interesting. I am a little excited now. More than I was like 5 seconds ago. Okay. So, wow. We have the vow. Now, is the vow in the tools as well?
Mm-hmm.
It is. The vow is in the
come
tools.
Out in order.
Okay. They really like the tools today.
They came out in order.
I know, right? So we've got the vow. We have the 8 of fire, or the 8 of wands. We have the wheel of fortune. We have apophyllite, and we have the rabbit. This is pretty exciting. So without further ado, we're going to let Tori tell us about the vow, and then we'll move through the reading as we go.
The vow. The promise, the oath, the contract. When the vow is spoken, the air shifts. Karmic ties are formed and destiny tilts on its axis. Our words and intentions have immense power. There is a reason the great mythic stories of our past often include the recitation of oaths and the mixing of drops of blood as a mark of union. The tricky part is that reciting the vow, no matter how casually, activates the eternal and unseen forces of the world. The ancestors bear witness. The laws of nature respond. These promises cannot be unsaid or forgotten. So breaking them can breaking them can leave lingering complexities and loose ends. This card calls us to acknowledge the vow we are living by, consciously or unconsciously, and either recommit to it or create a ritual that signifies its closure. You've been underestimating the power of your promises. When light, bearing witness to a shift towards destiny. When dark, unconscious vows, unkept promises, messy karma. Go deeper. Learn the yamas, the 5 vows of the seeker. Anytime the energy of the vow is present, we are in the archetypal realm of ceremony and ritual. That means time stands still and everything is possible. Think of the last promise you made. Was it to yourself or another? Has it been upheld or broken?
That is pretty awesome. So we've got the vow, and vows can also be positive affirmations. They can be, manifesting things, speaking things into existence. We talk about that all the time. Okay. But to make a promise to yourself, okay, or your higher power, or whatever you want to say, okay, but they're saying that you didn't just speak empty words. Words have meaning and words have power. So be very, very careful what comes out of your mouth. Okay. Now, with that in mind, we've got the 8 of Fire, and that is events moving at a very fast pace and delays are over. Now, this here just said that it's like time just stood still, right? That's what it said. It said it was like time stood still. I can't make this up. Delays are over. Many things happening all at once. Welcome to the moon in Gemini. Okay, so, and then, as if that wasn't enough motion, right? Then we have the wheel. And this is a situation suddenly moves forward. I'm feeling a theme here. Okay. So we've got a time of positive change. You are supported. A situation suddenly moves forward and fortune is on your side. Well, here's the thing. Things I have found out about the divine. No matter what faith you follow, there are promises from your higher power. There are promises from the divine. And the way that this works is if you speak their promises back to them, they have to be honored. Okay? It's kind of like law, right? Here in this country, you have lawyers that can cite different law notes and different things and, repeat it back to the judge, and he has to honor it. Why? Because it's law, right? Same thing. Same thing. Okay. So we have the vow. In other words, vows were made either by the divine and the faith that you follow or by you. And now things are moving at an alarmingly fast rate. Delays are over. Fortune is on your side. You are supported. A time of positive change. And then we have apophyllite. I can't make it up. Increased support. For those of us that needed that last little bit of oomph to get over the hump, okay, we've got support. Your positive focus and willingness to receive have opened a doorway to an abundance of help and opportunities. Let's get real. If you are constantly grasping at things, you see what I'm doing? You see that? You cannot put anything in my hand if I'm doing that. Can you? No. But if I do this, you can. Okay? So, this is saying, yes, very good, Mary. As above, so below also works in reverse. You are absolutely correct.
Those are at home.
Yes. She has the as above, so below cards, too. I've just thrown that out there. Okay, so increased support, your positive focus and willingness to receive have opened the doorway to an abundance of help and opportunities. You have to open the door in order to receive the blessings that are coming your way. Okay. All right. So let's see what the rabbit has to say as far as our little bookend situation here.
And it completely goes with
I
the
love
vow.
it. I love it. Okay. Go ahead.
So the rabbit is one of the earth elements. So the rabbit, afraid of everything, overwhelmed, frozen. The rabbit loves to remind his friends that someday the eagle will swoop down and eat him. He talks and talks and talks about it so loudly, in fact, that one day the eagle hears and thanks him for the great idea. Rabbit energy is alive when we are scared, most often about the future, and we become our own worst enemy. We spin up a dust cloud of fear and then complain to others that we are lost. Notice your thoughts and your words, oh rabbit, they shape your destiny. When in balance, sensitive, problem solver, good listener. When out of balance, over explains, talks fast. To bring into balance, a day of silence.
Wow. Wow. I saw this once on the movie Eat, Pray, Love, and it's one of my favorite books too. But Liz, the main character, when she goes to the ashram in India, they have the option to wear a button that says, I am in silence, which means you're not supposed to, I mean, you can talk to them, but understand that they're not going to answer you verbally. So that right there, that's where my mind went when you said that. I mean, you don't have to go that far.
Bringing that up, when Kim was creating this deck, she spent nearly 6 months in India in an ashram.
I can tell.
Part of that she spent in silence. She had the button and everything. I follow her on Instagram.
I love it. I love it so much. It's one of my life dreams to go to India and do that exact same thing. For those of you that don't know, I am an avid kirtan lover. I love singing, speaking, chanting in Sanskrit, and I absolutely love the various pantheons of the Hindu culture. I absolutely love that as well. So I embrace every faith and culture. I truly do. But that one just speaks to my heart in ways I can't even begin to tell you. So that is really, really cool. I'm going to have to look into her some more. Kim Krantz, that is fantastic. Yes. Thank you, Mary. Yep. Not only are we going to open the door of abundance, but here's a tip, and Mary was kind enough to point this out. If you've got a whole bunch of crap in front of the door, are you going to be able to open it?
No.
That's why we purge, right? Get rid of the junk. Get rid of it. So we've got the vow, which is that, be aware that your words have weight and that the divine, what they have spoken, that has weight and can be repeated back to them. Information coming in that finally makes sense, things moving at an alarming rate, the delays are over, a time of positive change, the situation suddenly leaps forward and fortune is on your side. You are supported. You are supported by the universe, but you have got to be able to open that door. And please be aware that your words, once again, have weight. You speak things into existence. Okay? All right. So, Mary, I think all of our husbands would be thrilled if we decided to collectively spend a day in silence. They would be absolutely thrilled. Oh my God, she's not talking my ear off. Thank you, Lord. But okay, so we are going to do a really quick recap. We just did that one. So for the first one, we had the flame, which is that igniting that passion, that self-confidence, that drive, and the fact that things look good. Have patience with yourself. Make long-term plans by having self-confidence. Victory and good news is on its way. Self-confidence through God confidence, understanding who you have believed in. And the dragonfly, which is movement, clarity, understanding the mystical side of things. Okay? All right? And having confidence in a higher power. That was pile number 1. So just real quick here, I am going... That's so funny. Oh, okay. We're going backwards, I see. I gotcha. Oh, I love this so much. You guys are awesome. Okay, and let me see what that is. Oh, the prayer. Okay, we're gonna end with that. That's gonna be fantastic. Okay, so we've got the flame. We're resparking our self-confidence, and we're understanding that we're supported by the divine. So this right here is repetition. It's always tea time, which means this needs to be a practice. This needs to be a practice if you chose pile number 1. Practice, 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 practice. Okay? All right. Let's look at pile number 2 as a recap really quick here. I love this one. This one was so cool to me. Okay, so we got the tear, which is the purging of things, right? And then we have the need to balance our emotions and a job well done, contentment, the path toward enlightenment, not the finish line. Spiritual protection, you're protected and divinely directed. And the phoenix, allowing that spark to be visible once again. Okay. And for that, we have who in the world are you? Getting to know the new you. I can't make that up, guys. Getting to know the new you. That is fantastic. This has been a great, great show. Okay. So I get a little excited. I can't help it. Okay. So we got the riddle, not knowing all the answers, understanding that the riddle is the answer sometimes. Okay. Good news about financial matters and wanting to do something more challenging, dealing with challenges in a kind and understanding manner, giving it to God, and the whale diving deep, right? Okay. Then we have the right way, learning to create what you desire. Learning to create, is it ever a fail? No, it's a first attempt in learning. Okay. Learning to create what you desire.
You only fail if you give up.
That's exactly right. All right. And then they had me confused because they said put it on the pile. And then I looked. Okay, Kyla. You're so cute, honey. All right.
You can't do that, Kyla, just because it's a phoenix.
I know. She loves the phoenix. Not that we don't agree with you, sweetheart. But we have the vow, understanding that your words have weight, events changing quickly, the wheel, okay, increased support, and the rabbit. And we have messages for a rabbit. Messages for a rabbit. Okay. Now, again, this is understanding that your words have weight. In the story, the rabbit trusts her with his message to deliver it. Okay. And she's like, I don't know why I'm running errands for a frickin' rabbit. Okay. But she understood at that point that her words did have weight and did have merit. Okay. All right. So now we have the prayer. And I'm going to let Kyla. She just messaged and I stopped that. Kyla, she's confusing me. Okay, so Tori is going to tell us about the prayer, and I absolutely love these cards. I'm going to have to get me a set of these because these are flipping amazing. Okay, go ahead.
The prayer, the worship, the reverence, the homage. What is prayer? When are we in a state of prayer? And when are we not? To whom or what do we pray? Archetypically, the practice of prayer has been with us since the dawn of time as a remedy for the omnipresent self-centered thinking that spins us through delusion. Prayer leads us beyond our ego. As we move from our little story to the big one, some say we are in the state of prayer sometimes, anytime we are not the center of our own thoughts. Others say prayer is a natural result of gratitude. Perhaps it is simply surrender or service. Whatever prayer is for you, this card reminds us of its importance. Get quiet, low, humble, and soft. Bow and touch the ground as your heart lifts to the sky. Though it may be uncomfortable, it is time. Nothing else will do. When light offering to be of service, asking for guidance when dark, expecting results, and self-ag. I don't know what there.
Oh, aggrandizement, and it's basically you're self-aggravating.
Oh, okay. And go deeper. Ask to be of service. So experience with the act of bowing down. Nearly all spiritual traditions make a practice of I am bad with words
No, it's
today.
fine. It's prostration.
Frustration. I'm glad I let you say that.
Yes.
That was not what was going to come out.
Yes.
Every song, kiss, breath, word can become a prayer. It is a feeling, not an action. Consider the ancient mantra, and this is
And is this me?
Sanskrit.
It's me. Good. This is Om Namo Gurudev Namo. And it's I bow to the creative consciousness within, and I bow to the teacher within. And it's actually one of my favorite chants right there is Om Namo Gurudev Namo. I love it. It is so, so beautiful. So yeah, this has been an absolutely fantastic, fantastic show. I'm so glad when she shows up. Okay. What do we got? We got the Four of Wands. Oop, we got the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, we got the Nine of Swords. And one more. Oh, let's do one more. Yes. Yes. Okay. So we've got the Four of Wands. Now, what this prayer card is saying, okay, the prayer card, this is the reading that goes along with the prayer card. This just fell out the deck, and then these she drew to go along with this. So we have the prayer, we have the Four of Wands, which is structure, stability, a foundation on which things can be built. That's prayer. A foundation on which things can be built. Let that sink in. There's the light bulb. Okay. Now we've got the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. That's understanding that the seeds have been planted. You have to allow them time to grow. You have to allow them time to grow. You can't go out there, start pulling on plants to get them to grow quicker. That doesn't work out too good. Okay. Not a good idea. All right. Your garden will not turn out well. And then we have the Nine of Swords, which is the self-fulfilling prophecies, being up all night, worrying about stuff. So you started off good, right? With prayer as your foundation. But then what happens when we go back into ourselves instead of into our ego instead of our higher self? Well, then we get impatient, don't we? We get impatient, and then what happens after we get impatient? We start worrying about stuff. We start staying up all night. We start losing sleep. We start freaking out. And then we get the Five of Cups here. And the Five of Cups is crying over spilt milk. Straight up. That's exactly what it is. It is belly aching and bitching over spilt milk that is no good to anybody anymore anyway. Instead of appreciating what you still have, instead of having an attitude of gratitude, you're belly aching over what you feel you've lost. Okay?
Sometimes you lose things for a reason.
That's exactly it. And then we have the Son of Wands. Now, is this the page or the knight, dear?
Knight.
Knight, thank you. So the
Daughter is page.
Right. So the Knight of Wands is moving from one location to another. Okay? Things moving quickly with great speed and accuracy, passion and drive. Okay? This is saying, look, prayer is the foundation that you can build on. As soon as you go back into your ego, we got problems. You start getting impatient. You start staying up all night worrying about stuff. You start crying over spilt milk. Let's move from that location spiritually to another location. Let's move. Move your energetic self out of that harm's way. Move out. How do we do that? Go back in here. Go back in here. If you got lost up here, come back to here. Okay? All right. Yes. I love her so much. I just do. Often when we think we've lost something, it's just the universe moving it out of our way. Thank you, Mary. Yes, that is exactly it. That is exactly it, guys. Okay, well, I know that everybody has hung out with us till the very, very end because they want to see the babies. So I'm going to ask for a little help. That way you guys get to see them. And Tori gets to hold one too. Yay. Yay. They're so cute. Aw. Yeah. Oh, super puppies. Here they come. And you guys are not going to believe how big they've gotten in just a week's time. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Yes, it's a baby. Yeah, I know. I know you like being on the camera. Yes, you do. You say hi, Sable? Huh? You say hi? That's okay. You say hi. Hi. Yep. This little girl right here is Artemis. That's the Artemis. And that one is Sable, our little black one. Yep.
That's my finger.
Yep. These are American Bulldogs, and they're going to be very, very big. So, but they're little right now, and they love to come on the show and say hi to everybody. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today for Angelic Tarot and Therapy. And I will be back on, we're actually going to move the weekly live show. We're going to move that to Sunday because it's more feasible for everybody to be able to enjoy it and for me to have time to actually put it together. So I am moving it to Sunday, and that will be posted on my page as well. But until next time, you guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you guys on Sunday. And say bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.